Stage 3 of La Vuelta. And will it be a repeat of the day previous? We have our leader. It's Wout van Aert, but he didn't take the stage win. That went to Caden Groves on 2. What about another sprinting day then? Destination Castelo Branco, 192 kilometres, and it would be hot. Not necessarily for the GC boys, they will be waiting for stage 4, Destination Pico Vallejas, but this one was another chance for the big men to have some fun. Not too much, you understand, plenty of climbs still, with altitude gain of over 2,000 metres once more, and a Category 2 test offering up a temptation for those gunning for the early King of the Mountains lead. So what sort of breakaway would we have? Well, we're kind of used to seeing one, which includes Luis Angel Mate, and guess what? He was up there yet again, this time with a teammate with Xabi Izaza. The man who shared stage 2 break, Ibon Ruiz, was also there, and he brought a teammate along for fun as well, Unal Iribar. No doubt about the cohesion within that group, and plenty wanted to join it. In fact, Winter Campenaerts of Lotto Destiny, Stefan Kung wearing the King of the Mountains jersey for Groupama Francis Jeux, and also Kasper Asgreen tried to join the break. That was denied by the peloton, allowing these 4 to duke out every single action point throughout the day. Well, the man who wanted it more than anyone else, Luis Angel Mate, and his teammate Xabi Issa, second over that Category 2 to deny vital points to Ruiz, meaning that Mate leads the King of the Mountains competition and was guaranteed to do so by the day's end, courtesy of the efforts of his teammate. Well, there's more fun out on the road, not least an intermediate sprint that started to loom large in the minds of everybody. The maximum gap for the breakaway had been up around about the 5-minute mark, but chopped down, unceremoniously so, and indeed fell below the 2-minute mark before being allowed to stretch back out after the feed. Well, all eyes, of course, on the chase, and Visma Lisa bike, along with Alpecin-Deceuninck, duly accepted that task. When it came to the intermediate sprint, there were only 10 points remaining on the table to be collected to whoever finished 5th. Behind the breakaway had already rolled over it. Setting his stall out, the leader, Wout van Aert, took it ahead of Caden Groves. No points for Groves, but 10 vital points to Wout van Aert, our overall leader. The man in red just dipping into the red at that moment. How vital would that prove to be? We'd find out at the end of the day. Well, our breakaway went over the last categorised climb, and indeed that left just one man standing from the break, Xabi Issa. He duly got the Combativity Award, which here at La Vuelta offers up €3,000 per day. Well worth fighting for some of the smaller teams. Good to see that Josh Tarling was back on the bike and doing his job in the lead-in. 3 kilometre mark stood today. It had been 4 the day prior, so the GC men would filter out late on, but it was a squeezing process on the pack as roundabouts came one after the other. Thinned down we were then when we came to the 2.7 kilometres to go inside that coveted 3, so the GC men were starting to fall away, but how would it pan out at the very last? Surely it would need some bravery out there, and Victor Campenaerts, who'd been denied his chance to be in the break at the beginning of the day, decided he was going to make the steal very late on. Well, setting off in hot pursuit were Intermarché Wanty, hoping to tee up at the end of the day Arne Marit, who's been going so well. Campenaerts' effort, unfortunately for him, was extinguished this time. And so the usual pecking order started to reveal itself. Good lead-in by Alpecin-Deceuninck for Caden Groves. Waiting to release their man, but on his back wheel was, of course, the red jersey of Wout van Aert. Also playing the game here was Marit, and indeed Aberasturi was like a rocket steaming up on the barriers. But when it came to the line, there was one man that owned it, and he is our glorious leader. Wout van Aert just edging out Caden Groves at the line. Aberasturi in a creditable 3rd place for the men in orange behind Groves. Marit in there for 4th place. At last, said Wout van Aert, he got the stage win to go with that leader's jersey. He, though, thinking about green, something else he owns today after his efforts not only winning, but also in the intermediate sprint. Great days sprinting, Wonderful days riding as well through some spectacular terrain, but Spain beckons as we bid a fond farewell to Portugal, and the Pico Barajas is a big test still to come. Van Aert likely to hand over the leader's jersey tomorrow, but he will own green by the looks of him. Van Aert taking the day ahead of Groves, Aberasturi, Marit, Bittner in 5th place ahead of Corbin Strong, Lyons, Cochard, Soto. Job well done. He wanted the stage win on stage 2. He had to wait till 3 to get it, but he also owns green. 8 points clear of Caden Groves, who, if Groves had won the intermediate sprint, would have held on to green jersey. Not to be. But Van Aert owns it. He'll be lending it to Groves tomorrow. Not sure how much of either we'll see when it comes to the mountains. Van Aert leads this race ahead of time trial winner Brannan McNulty by a margin of 13 seconds. Looks good in red. Well, with a day where everyone's going to go into the red, will he still hold that jersey tomorrow? Let's see. We have the Pure Mile climb, a Category 1 early on, and indeed a big one to Pico Vallecas itself. 171 kilometres, but a day in hell, and it will be hellishly hot as well. La Vuelta about to go loud for the GC riders, that is for sure. Cannot wait. We'll see you then.